Hello, welcome back. This will be part 6, I think, something like that. Welcome back to the build. I had a slight problem with the camera again. It decided to record the sound but not the video, and then all of a sudden the sound disappeared, but the clip it recorded acted as though it was about 3 minutes long, and it wasn't. It was about 30 seconds. So, what we missed was the centre of the panels I'm about to paint with the white dots, if that made any sense. In the film and in the prop that they made for the film and stuff like that, you'll actually see a red light of some description inside that panel. So, because red won't show up over dark grey, we need to re-prime it, or something along those lines, with the white, so that the red will be visible once we paint over. I hope that made sense. That's basically what this clip that's missing would have explained. So let's carry on. Yeah.
Right, glove on. It's one of those really muggy days today. Everything, even though I've washed my hands like a million times, every now and then you get like this sweaty thing going on, which is going to leave fingerprints everywhere. Yeah, very gross. Right then. Tiny dab of white, as I would say. There you go, there's the tiny little dab of white right there. And for now, let me show you this again. So I think I covered it in an earlier clip, but I can't quite remember. Pull and drag the paint away. You get a nice fine tip on the end of your brush. Don't overload your brush, otherwise that will just flood everywhere with paint. And then very, very carefully brace your hands together if you can, like so, and rest the knuckle on an edge, things like that. Just paint a dot in the middle. See, I've been waffling now, so the paint dried on the end of the brush. There we go. Dot in the middle, just like that. And then we can go over that with a red, some description once this dries. So I think I said this in an earlier clip as well. If we go straight in with the red now on top of that grey, it's not going to show up. Whereas if we have the white dot, it's a better background for the red to shine on. It's probably not the right way of putting it, but and they're not exact either. I'm going over the edges a little bit. I've not done any gloss coating or anything like that, so satin coat. So once that dries off a little bit, you can rub back. And don't forget, you're looking at this as well through a tiny little hole, so it doesn't have to be 100% accurate. I'm going to, whilst I've got this white here, so a couple of these little squares here are a really nasty yellowy green colour in the real thing. So very, very carefully. I just realised I'm doing this without my glasses on again. I'm wondering where my eyes are going. I can't see! Silly man. Right, go get my glasses. That's better, I can see now. You'd think I'd learn this by now. Okay. White dots. Like so. See if that works. There we go. Tiny little overrun again, but I'm not too bothered. Let's say you're looking through a window this big. Where's his face gone? There's his face. Just pop that out. So when you're looking through, just like that kind of thing. About there-ish. You can have either Chewy or the driver's in the way, so It's not going to be too bad. Is there anything on that one? You know, rate them. Give my brush a quick swirl. Come in with that really light grey wherever it's gone. It's not you. I'll put you. There we go. So we'll be using RLM78. Where you focus? There you go. RLM78, which is just blue. It's a Luftwaffe blue, which goes on the underside of Messerschmitts and Focke-Wulfs. And they're like, oh dear, that was a bit grubby. Look at that. It's a bit nasty. So again, little dollop. A quick mix around us with there we go. There we go. Right then, avoid that like the plague. Focus. Because the minute you touch that to any surface, it's just going to go everywhere. So, bit of tissue, run it off. Again, don't squeeze and twist. Avoid that like the plague as well, otherwise you'll ruin your brushes. And come back in, load the end of the brush. Possibly not the best colour to use, that blue on blue. Focus. Just the end of the brush. Pull and twist. Get the point. And then we can come in and do a button there. Overrun these buttons here. Do one there. It just gets a little extra dimension. Again, it's nothing huge. It just gives that interest. Let's do that as well. There we go. I like that. Right then, now for the fun bit, doing these lenses. So, I've not used this technique for a long time. It's one that I used to use in tabletop gaming a lot when I was a lot younger than I am now. I've already got a grey circle there that I did last night. I had a practice there and then realised I did it the wrong way around. I'll explain as I go along, but if you see here, the gradient goes from dark through to light this way. We've got the light source here, but with it being a lens, it's actually curved the wrong way around. And I've painted this light to dark instead of dark to light, which will make more sense when I do it in a second. Now this thing here is literally, I'm going in with the pre-shade colour again of RLM74. So it's like the really dark grey that we've been using all the way through. And this oval here is literally just painted in like this to achieve that. Obviously a lot neater than I've actually done, and that's going to be these things here. Let's go with that one. Yep. So we'll fill these in now. It'll probably take 2 light coats to actually get it in. And at some point I'll throw in a clip of me painting whilst looking over the top of the camera here. The positions that I end up having to get into. So again, bearing in mind, move the piece to suit you. Don't dislocate your wrist trying to paint something. Turn the piece around so you can get the other half of the oblong shape. Christmas tree. Just to fill these gaps in. There you go, that's not too bad. So we've now got the background colour. I'll throw this one in as well. I have to dislocate my wrist to get over this bump at the top. Ooh, that's awkward. The advantage here as well is, because I've not done a satin coating here yet, I've still got the gloss finish. So I don't know if you just spotted there and overran on this lip a little bit. Just rub over with your finger straight away. And you can take that off. There we go. Just do that tiny little screen there. Awesome. So you can see now that it's all building up nicely. Very nicely indeed. What's the screen on here? I'll tell you what. These 2 squares here we're going to turn into screens as well. Just because we can. And as one of my heroes, Bob Ross, used to say, this is your world, you paint it how you like. However, I'm going to include a but. Pink ATSTs, while in theory might look awesome, would draw a lot of criticism, I think, from certain quarters of the community. And as much as I want to do a pink ATST, not yet. Not yet. Alright then. Let's try and do this with the... oh dear. Try and get the palette and the test piece in the frame at the same time. There we go. So I'm going to use the IDF green. I love this colour. It is the Israeli Defence Force green. I think they use it for uniforms and some vehicles and bits of equipment and hardware that they have. I could be wrong, quite often am, but I actually use this shade for cockpit interiors, especially on RAF aircraft. There you go, right in front of me. So I'll use a blob of the green. I probably got too much there, to be honest, but hey ho. It's one drop out of a great big huge bottle like this. I'm not going to miss it. So, avoid putting your hand in the grey paint you've already got down. Merry Christmas, Mr. Norton. Norton? What was his name? He used to do the bloopers. Oh god, what was his name? Dennis Norton? Okay, so we're going to assume the light's coming from this direction because we're doing this side first. And we're going to paint a big crescent. Like so. Just there like that. While that's still wet, I'm going to take a tiny little bit of white, add it to the green. So I'm not going to go too light just yet. Go to the outside there. Leave a little slither of the darker green. And shade more white. Like so. And come even further across. If you get this right, which I've not quite managed to do this far, you can actually blend the three shades into one, and then big white blob in the corner there always makes it stand out. Well, that's the theory behind it. Obviously I've just rushed through that, I'm not actually taking my time with it. So now for the fun part, doing that but smaller. Wish me luck. This might not turn out. So it's still rudimentary shape. I get some white. Like so. I'm actually going to push my luck and just go with the two shades rather than three, like I would normally do. I want to see how that works. And if it doesn't, I can just repaint that in the dark grey and go again. Now you start working. Sorry about that. I'm having technical difficulties again. That's what I've done with the two screens in the middle. I like that. I do like that. Keep doke. Right now. What else was there? Don't worry, I'm nowhere near the bristles. Just get rid of the hilt. Let's do a silver. I'm going to swap brushes for this. Wherever possible, don't use the same brush for a metallic as you would with normal paints. That's why Citadel paint brushes both fine details, so they're exactly the same brush, non-metallic, metallic, or the other way around. So if you do have two of the same brush, whack a bit of tape around the back, and then you know that if you've used that one, don't use it, use your opposite brush for metallics. Otherwise you'll end up contaminating everything else that you do after that. Where have you gone? You did have a silver there. There we go. So we're back in with the aluminum for our colonial cousins. Dot, 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 thank you. My cold coffee's getting colder. So we're just going to do a tiny little hint. This is the other advantage of using gloves too. Tiny little hint of silver around that handle there. Just to indicate a little bit of wear and tear. Not much. I think it's just something different for your eye to look at. And then we'll pick over the edges of, I think it was them vents there, wasn't it? What we're going to do. Yeah, why not? Do that there as well. So this is a little bit like dry brushing without actually doing any dry brushing. I think you call this over brushing, it could be. Something like that, so it's literally picking out the highest of the details. Pick out that silver thing there as well. Like so. Yep, that'll do. As I'll be here all bloody night. So something that started off as a grey lump of plastic now looks lived in. And that's why I love this hobby so much. And then the final act Remember these white things? Not anymore. Now if it had gone straight over, hopefully you'll be able to see it on this white dot here. Shows up white. Oh, it shows up the red beautifully, but if you look at the dark, where the grey is, you can barely see it. So something translucent like a red, if you can, get the white underneath first, just to show it off. Beg your pardon, there's nothing on there. Oh dear, concentrate. It's the same with a yellow too. Get the white underneath, help you out. There we go. Look at that. We'll get some yellow, I think, on that one there. Oh no. Go with the golden yellow. She's quite a beautiful mellow yellow. Make your own song up. So it's not like in your face. Yellow! Like so. Beautiful. Right then, we'll leave all those little shades to dry, and then we'll go in with, that's just if anybody's interested, probably not, it's just box standard thinner that has outlived its use. Starting off, hang on, let's get a better angle. Yeah, see, new gimbal, it works. See how that works? Beautiful. So it's just box standard stuff. Only I've managed to gunk that one up a long time ago, and it still works even though it's that really grotty colour. If I go in now with, there we go, let's get it all dark grey like that. There we go. So get it all nice and gunky like that. Wipe the excess off. Give it a good smacking. Nice and clean, even though it is really gunky and nasty looking. Lovely clean. Happily, I wasn't filming a second ago when one of the humans I live with decided to come out with the right little mouthful. It's quite funny. I don't know. People are funny. Right, I've just gone round with a tiny little brush. Focus, picking out different panels like this one, and that's good. I can't find one now. Just daft little spots here and there, like that tiny little circle there, and that rivet screw thing, which in real life would be huge. That'd be the size of your head and then some in real life. What else did I do? There's a couple little dots here and there, all along. I had to paint that arrow. That one there. And then these little straps here, a couple of bolt heads, things like that. A little tiny little bit of chipping. I had to do some chipping. Chipping's one of my things. There we go. Just a couple of little spots here and there, just to make it a little bit more interesting. So it's not just one lump of grey. Where else did I do? That's a better one. There we go. Go, focus. So I got that, what was it, RLM 78, so that's the really light one on this piece here, and that one. And the US blue grey, which is that one. It's this medium grey, bluey grey. Well, it's blue grey. It's blue grey. What more do you want? Silly man. So yeah, it was just one shade of grey. There's a couple of squares there filled in as well. Just make it look a little bit more interesting when it's all put together. So now I'll stop faffing about doing things like that. It's time to give it a couple of coats of this, and then seal it all in, ready to put the cockpit back together so we can stick it inside chicken bonds and then finish this chicken bonds like the rest of this. So slowly going together. Slowly. Look at that now. Nearly got rid of all that shine. Looks absolutely glorious. So we're going to let that cure overnight before I do anything else to it, because I don't want to make the mistake that I made with this thing early on. If you remember, I had to do all kinds of sanding to sort that out. So overnight, be patient, especially you there. I'm talking to the fella behind the camera, this one. And then tomorrow at some point, where these little screens are, I'll be going over with a dollop of, I've not quite got it with me, I've got a gloss version of these too, so a dollop of that on the palette and go over the top. And as you can see, now that it's not as shiny, you can actually see where I've done the silver highlights, especially on this side. That looks absolutely sumptuous, it really does. I'm hugely impressed with that detail, really am.